What's up, Unleashing Your Life Purpose? My name is Gabriel, and we have a very special guest today with us. His name is Max Thorin. Max has some really cool stuff that he's doing for his life purpose, so I wanted to get him on to the group and share his message with you about how you can start taking action on your life purpose. So Max, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me today. I really, really appreciate it. How are you?
Thank you too. It's a pleasure being on, connecting the world. I'm fine. It's fine.
Absolutely. So Max, one of the things that we had mentioned just before or that you had shared with me just before the interview was that you have these really cool shirts displaying these really inspiring messages. Can you share more about that with people and how you got the idea to do that?
Yeah, actually they come back a little bit to life purpose, and when the inside of you doesn't really let you do the wrong thing, or not the wrong thing, but the thing that you're not meant to, because I felt that I would wanted to do something different, and I ended up investing most of my money into e-commerce course. And I quickly, because I was still working a lot on myself, and I was eager, and I messed up a bit. So I thought I ruined the whole course because I accidentally blocked myself lifetime on eBay. And that was like the start of that education. But I was like, okay, almost falling into tears, like, fuck, what have I done? Ah. But then I'm like, I'm gonna make this anyway. I'm gonna make the best out of this somehow, la la la. And I started to learning different ways with my coach on how to use e-commerce all over the world in Europe, and was trying out a lot of things. And then I got into maybe I want to do something with clothes, or stuff. But stuff for me, it's like dead material. It has no meaning. It's just basically destroying the planet, sending it all over the place.
Yes.
So it had to be something more, So I thought, okay, a lot of color or something like that. And then finally, I found a way to make my own shirts easily, and I didn't have to buy 100 of each size and have them in my own wardrobe.
Yeah.
And by just putting out t-shirts on people, because you see the newspapers, you see the news, the radio, they talk about murder, they talk about a lot of horrible stuff. And I mean, of course we have to know about it, but we also don't have to feed our everyday impressions with that. It's ridiculous. It will mess us up. So I thought, okay, let's just put pillars out there everywhere. You don't even have to speak to everybody, because you don't have time to speak and affect everybody, but you can consciously and unconsciously just walk around. basically just being you. And if people agrees with your message on your t-shirt, they can interact with you, and you will easily find each other, because I mean, it's a big society full of little ants running around, and it's hard to know who is worth the time to speak to.
Wow.
And I think that's basically the journey there. And I work on a lot of other projects, but that's like a side thing that I want to be there, and everyone in my community could take part in.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna go back to the shirts, because I think that's really interesting what you're doing, and I'm also curious to know if you make your own custom. Like, say if a client wanted to have like a custom print, if you would do that for them. But let's hear about your story first. What got you to the point in your life where you said, you know what, I'm going to do the things that I actually care about, that I'm actually passionate about, spread this good message, spread this goodwill throughout the entire world. What was the catalyst, the driving point for you to go from where you were to where you are now in your life?
Well, I guess I've been a little bit like that for a long time. Like I wanted to do things, I wanted to design them myself, or get like my view of the world onto the world. And my brother started doing music when we were like 15 or something, and I started to do music too, and that was a great way for me to like express my view of the world and stuff like that. But then my mother passed away when I was like 10, so I early got like the message like, shit, this life is not like going to be forever maybe. And in the beginning I might have used that in a not super creative, positive way, more maybe young, stupid, and sometimes destructive, you know, because you're like, yeah, let's live. But yeah, a bit. But when you combine that with like long-term thinking and appreciation for the world and life in general, it becomes really good. I hope I don't go away from the question.
No, just keep going. Just keep going. Express yourself honestly.
Yeah, and I think it's important not to. Of course, you need to follow the crowd a little bit to like feel like you're a part of some kind of community, because it can be really lonely and hard to go your own way, you know. But in the end, it's totally worth it. And when you start to truly commit to like doing your thing, you will almost feel like the universe is backing you up, and like, okay, this guy's for real, I will help him. It sounds a bit woo-woo for some people that might not see the universe in the same way as I do, but I truly think that when you commit yourself to your path, really interesting things will start to happen for you. When people just enter your life, you start to connect, like your energy starts to connect to the rest of the energy of the world, and it just starts to become a little bit ridiculous almost.
Absolutely, and I can definitely share that same experience with you. Like when I said, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna live my purpose, whatever that is, I'm gonna serve the universe in whatever way that I can, or whatever my divine plan was, I'm gonna just do that. That's when I started noticing a huge shift in my life. I started noticing all these synchronicities happening, repeating numbers everywhere, the right opportunities, the right experiences showing up, and meeting the right people, the soul tribe, the community that I would be most aligned to. So I understand exactly what you mean by that. And I think a lot of people watching this as well do. They may be going through their own time of awakening and going through their own process of really evolving and seeing life from a different lens, just like you do, just like I do, just like we do. Wanted to ask you, Max, you have a YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to talk about on that channel? What was the idea behind it?
Well, I always thought it was like interesting. First of all, I like to move around and I like people. I'm a social guy, but it's just many times people say like follow one path until successful and stuff, and that it's totally something there. You have to focus, but I have such interest for so much of life, you know. I couldn't just be for example a brawler. I couldn't just brawl, because I think so much is so interesting. So it's like an excuse for me for once to just talk and know about other people's projects, basically, and get a little glimpse without having to dive head deep and put all my focus there. and also help out. Maybe now with interviews, I can just give them some visibility. And the thing with the YouTube channel is really like, it should be a place where you could come to find the parts you need for your business. So basically, if you're like, okay, what do I need? I need better network, or I need a video, or I need to connect to my life purpose. Now they can go there, they can find an interview. Oh, okay, this person seems great, and then connect to that person. So it's more like a little place for everyone who's interested in business or their life purpose or whatever they want to do, to find what they need, basically. So I'm making the search easier for people.
Wow, that's brilliant. When did you start that channel, and what gave you that idea exactly? Was there like a specific situation in your life that made you say, I'm gonna use this as a tool to help others?
Well, I mean, I've been interested in interviewing people. Like, I wanted to do that, but it was actually when I was pushing myself a lot, and I had like 2 meetings I had to go to. One was like the Skatteverket, what is that called? You know, the tax government stuff. And I had to go to a meeting to understand a thing about tax. And then it was like I imported power banks saying, enjoy every moment, with a smiley. And I needed to know what's the, you know, when you ship import stuff, do I have to pay tax, blah, blah, blah. And I was so tired in the first meeting, I couldn't concentrate what they were saying. But from nowhere, like this lightning came into my head, like, and I had my paper and I just started writing on the paper. And it was like, okay, I need my Shopify store, YouTube, music, and like my inspirational teacher. I haven't built that up yet, but it's coming. So it's probably was clear in a way, but it just got really clear in that weird, tired, the conscious couldn't hold it back, so the unconscious just like, what?
It just brought it all out to you, and that's so brilliant, because that's usually when we have those moments. If we're focusing on something long enough, eventually that conscious mind, the conditioned mind, gets really, really tired, and then we just allow the insights of the universe to just penetrate. And you know, it probably is that you get a feeling from within, or a vision, and then that helps you to know, okay, wait a second, this is actually the direction that I need to be going in, and this is how I need to, you know, contribute my gift, my special uniqueness out to the world. Just curious now, is why was it so important for you to take action on doing these things? Why was it so important, you know, from your place to start living your purpose and start contributing to the world in this way?
I mean, normal life, going to work, going to the pub, see your friends, la la la, you know, normal stuff. It's okay, I guess, but it's really, it doesn't work for me. It's it's something inside that like says that I have like a responsibility to, I mean, maybe it's not to save the whole world, but totally do a bit of my part, and like you do, raise the awareness, affect as many people as you can, because you can't do it alone. And I mean, I inherited some money because my mom passed away, so I didn't have very high education and la la la, but I had some money. So I was sitting outside my home here one day for some years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, and I was like, what can I do with this money? I don't want to go on any vacation, just lie on a beach or waste my time like that. I want to create, I wanted to manifest something, you know. And then I was bald with my money. I was like, this is not going to be a waste. And even if family and friends don't get it, they're like, oh, Oh my God. It's like, plus when you invest a lot into yourself, money or effort or time, your commitment becomes deeper. Then you take it seriously. And then you just want to keep going because it's fun and you already invested so much in it. Plus you learn so much, you meet some amazing people. It really, of course, you love your goal and you want to get to your goal, but really the journey is so amazing in itself. And like, don't get stuck on how everything is supposed to be. That will make you angry, I think. Like, no, it didn't happen this way. I mean, of course, you need to balance it back so you don't like fly away there. But
too attached to something and then not be attached at all, and then you're just like whatever. It's a delicate balance between doing and being, attaching and being non-attached all at the same time.
Yeah, it's not always easy. Well, that's why you have to have focus. But yeah.
Oh, wow. So you mentioned something really important that I want to backtrack on, Max. You had said a feeling within. It was something that you felt within. You received this money to do something with it. And what most people would do, because most people would say, hey, how can I just enjoy this? How can I just, because I don't know when the next time I'm going to get it. That could be a scarcity mindset thing. And they're just like, can I just go to the beach and can I just enjoy and go on that beach and just sit and just relax and meditate? But then you're saying, you know, I'm going to use this and I'm going to do what I really, really, truly believe in and what I'm truly inspired by. And I think that takes a lot of courage. And I think that takes a lot of like a conscious effort, you know what I mean? Especially since money is a form of value and we use that to exchange ideas, services, products, whatever. That feeling inside of you that made you decide to start living your purpose and take action the way you have been?
Well, can you re-ask the question?
Absolutely. You said that there was like a feeling inside of you, something inside of you that said that you need to live your purpose. Can you recall what that feeling was? Can you recall what that thought was or that vision was where you said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take action on my purpose? And if not, it's okay.
It's probably many small little feelings and hints, but I always been really open, you know, to everything. That I'm always been curious, you know, and always believe that there is more, you know. I'm not a religious person like, okay, now I worship Christianity or no, but I always been like spiritual. Yes. And I like within, I know that it's more, and I'm curious and eager to unravel the magic, if that explains it. And I know that going and sitting by a beach, it's magic in that, sure. It's beautiful, it's relaxing, but it's not gonna unleash you. And I mean, you are part of the universe. And you have these gifts, you have this potential, you have this world that is a playground for you to create. And also, it's like always a balance. Like we have evil in the world, we have good. Of course, it's a question of perception, but evil will never win if good and bad. I mean, good needs bad, bad needs good for us to understand. Yes. And I want to be part of the good. I mean, even if I die tomorrow, I don't need to be famous. That's not my goal. But I want to like show gratitude, basically. It's my way of saying thank you, life, and leaving my little gift, even if it won't even be remembered by anybody.
Max, that honestly just touched me in here, man, because ironically enough, we created a live stream the other day, I think yesterday it was, where we were talking about why the darkness serves you, or how the darkness serves your life purpose. So all the
Mhm.
traumas that we've ever experienced, all the stuff that we see as bad in the world, it serves us on some level, but we're not really aware of what it is that it's doing for us, you know?
Mm.
And when we start to just accept that all the things that happen along our journey help us to reach up to a certain point, is when we start to
Mm.
realize I needed that darkness. I needed that confusion. I needed that trauma. I needed that experience to teach me
Yeah,
something that now I can use to now assist and help others. And I just think that's so brilliant, the way that you just said all of that. Um,
thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. When it comes now to you and where you are on your journey, and let's now pull up the shirts, and let's now pull up the YouTube channel, the mission that you have on this planet. How did you go about getting that clarity for yourself?
Well, something that's actually been super annoying for me is that I'm super conflicted sometimes. Let's maybe call it the ego and the non-ego, or yeah. So sometimes you really just want to make good, and sometimes you really want to please yourself. And
Absolutely.
that can be super annoying, because one day you're this guy, one day you're this guy. You're the same guy, but I mean, um, one of my dreams is to be able to do more work with charity, and to do that I need to be more, I need to, be able to travel freely, be have a passive incomes that pay my bills every month,
Yes.
because I don't want to work 6 months in a factory and then, okay, that might work, but and then go and spend all the cash on helping out somewhere, and then go back to my apartment. I want to be able to do more, and to do that I need to be creative and think money. I have to be, maybe from the beginning I was not thinking business, I was more like just love, and then the business and the money part like collided with the making the world a better place. But now slowly I start to learn how to integrate the two, uh, because not sadly, but the one needs the other. You have to eat, and
And
yeah.
that's a big, I think that's a really huge hang up that a lot of people that are spiritual, and again, just to piggyback off of what you said, I totally believe in spirituality, the universe. I don't necessarily believe in religion. I believe that's like something that was created to control us. But
Mm.
either which way, I believe that we are here for a very specific reason, and that we have the power to influence whatever it is that we choose in our way, as minimalistically. And you know, you said something very important that I want to touch upon more, and I want to amplify that more. It's it's coming from a it's coming from a place of balance, right? Because on the one hand, you have to pay the bills because you're still part of this physical world, this matrix idea where we have to pay even to get like a crystal. We have to pay to get the canvas thing, but that
Mm.
helps us to then express ourselves. So I feel like a lot of people, especially when it comes to their purpose, is to realize that in order for us to fulfill our mission, our collective mission, our one mission, we have to be willing to ask for what we want. And that goes for both the universe, and if, let's say, we're working with people directly, or let's say you're advertising your shirts, if you're
Mm.
advertising your YouTube channel, you have to be willing to ask for what it is that you truly, truly are desiring. And you're
Mm.
right, it is a balance. It's a delicate act between how can I serve this place? How can I serve this planet and show my way of gratitude and say thank you for life and celebrate life?
Mm.
And on the opposite hand, how can I make sure that I have food to eat, places to sleep, and my needs are met so that I can continue doing what I'm doing? And that's a very delicate balance in itself. How is there a way that you've been managing that?
Yeah, on the work part, I don't take any normal like in one place. So I began to work for a restaurant and event firm that you can have like a normal hiring with a pay that you always get paid even though they don't have work. But I never worked like that. I worked so that I get to move. I don't get stuck in one place. I get to travel with work and meet people all over, earn some money, but still like decide, do I want to work today? Or do I actually have a talk with Gabriel? That's more important to me. And then slowly now over the years, not many years, but the last 3 years, I've built up. So I have maybe, yeah, probably 10 employers or something in construction, in the factory, warehouse, restaurant, event, schools. So depending on the season, I'm always covered, and I can not always, but most of the time I can prioritize the things that I need to do. And sometimes it means working my ass off to get the free time the day that's important for me. And sometimes you have to sacrifice the economy and back engineer your economics. And I always thought, okay, let's not have a lot of things that pulls out money, like a car, or a car might be needed for some people, depending on where you live, etc. So it's not a bad thing, but used to live pretty simple so that I don't have to work too much.
Absolutely.
And then also, I mean, if you need the money, there are still good people that want to make money. Like the company I work for now, through my firm, I hire myself to the Swedish Wealth Institute. So in my opinion, I love working for them because our interests are totally aligned. They also believe in giving back. They also are a bit spiritual, but they're still a very serious firm, and they believe in they're really good in marketing, and they have real estate, and so they have combined it. So I would say build a little bit, learn a little bit maybe about real estate, learn a little bit about business, a little bit about marketing, a little bit about spirituality, and slowly you might put main focus on one of the things, but don't forget about the other stuff, because you will also need that. Like now I'm reading a book about marketing, and it totally aligns with everything else, because it's like, how do I build a tribe? How do I connect with my customers? And even if I don't have paying customers, I might just want to connect with my tribe, and that's still marketing. But people have a bad way of thinking about marketing. They're like, oh, that's selling. Evil people sell. You're
You're 100% right. I think that a lot of people are, especially on the spiritual side of things, the conditioning that's been placed on being a salesperson, the conditioning that's being placed on being a marketer. If we don't market what we do and how we help people, number one, how we're going to share our impact with the world. And number two, how is it that we're going to be able to support ourselves and to support our journey? Because like you said, and I think this is where it really comes down to, is when it comes to living our life purpose, all of us collectively, we have to we have to give, and we also have to be willing to receive. We have to be willing to give our gifts to the world, but we also have to be willing to receive the abundance. We have to be willing to receive the support. We have to be willing to enjoy life. And I believe that that is part of it. A lot of conditioning has been placed on the spiritual person. The spiritual person just sits down somewhere in the mountains and meditates and doesn't ask for anything. Maybe that worked 5,000 years ago, but in this day and age, with consumerism being the way that it is, and our entire ecosystem relying on money, it becomes increasingly challenging to be off-grid, to live off-grid completely, and to thrive off-grid completely. And even if you wanted to travel, if you wanted to go to another side of the world to impact someone's life, like, for example, Hema, when she was younger, she spent time volunteering at a children's orphanage in Cape Town, South Africa. She would never have been able to do that had she not had the financial resources to have that opportunity. And she spent 6 months of her life just volunteering, just cleaning babies' diapers, spending time with children, and doing something that was in her heart to do. And, you know, just like you said, it comes down to being able to use all those tools around us, the marketing, the sales, the how do I connect with my tribe, and bring it all together to fit into your unique message, into your life purpose, and share that then with the world.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe one in your tribe is exactly there. Maybe you need to help them with somewhere to work.
Absolutely.
Or a cool way to earn a passive income or something. Yeah.
There's always all those different opportunities out there. And I think that the person that can really find a way to do something that's best for the greatest good of all they're always going to have your needs met. You know, like, for example, you're selling shirts. Getting back to now the shirt stuff that you do, it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I actually want to buy a couple of shirts and just walk around New York City with that now, since we're going to the US. You know, we need to realize that our small influence, whether how big or small it is, our influence, right? Let me just put it that way. Our influence can do something very special for people that that can be only done our way. It's almost like music. If you listen to some artists, like whatever your favorite artists are, you know, they create music that only they can create in a way that helps people and that does something for their soul. And only they can do it. Only they can share that message. Just like only Max Thorin can only share his message and only live his purpose his way and contribute from that place. You know, if someone's watching this right now and they're struggling to find that clarity on their purpose, what would you say to them?
For first, I want to tell a story that you reminded me of from when I worked for Greenpeace, because many times your effect is not even it's like you might inspire a person for something that you don't even realize, because actually this guy at the Greenpeace office in Sweden, he was working in New York, and then he was just like any day, he was working, talking to people, recruiting people to sign up and give some money to Greenpeace, telling about the campaigns. And then 3 months later or something, a guy's come up and he's like, "Hey dude, it's you." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I don't remember you. I meet a lot of people. Please oblige me. Like, tell me, when did I meet you?" And he was like, "Yeah, it was like 3 months ago. I lost my job. My girlfriend just dumped me, and I was seriously going to the bridge, and I was gonna end my life. And then you talked to me about the world's problems and what we are doing, you were doing, and I was like, shit, my problems are so insignificant and small, and you actually saved my life and changed my mind." And it's a powerful story, because you never know. You're like, I have to do this, and this is going to be the outcome, but sometimes you just do, and the great effect comes. Maybe you do something, and a person you know tells someone else, and that person might tell this person, and it's weird how effect is happening sometimes.
It has a chain reaction to it, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it too. Whether or not we feel like we're doing a big part or a small part, maybe your content, maybe your YouTube channel, maybe one of your videos save someone's life. Maybe because you made those shirts, and let's say, for example, Hema and I wear those shirts when we're out in New York City or in cities, that then makes someone go spiritual awakening. And then the next thing you know, they're living their life purpose and they're doing what they truly came here to do. And I think that's so special when we can just show up and serve every single day, because the next thing you know, you can just save someone's life and help them realize the bigger picture.
Yeah. Did I answer also your question, or should I elevate on that?
If you feel that there's something more that you want to talk about with that.
Well, I also think you should try a lot, like Poreka said in one of my latest videos. You have to try, because I mean, I remember when I think back, when I was sitting and I was like, what do I like? Like, seriously, it's a hard question, because it's a lot of things that you might like, and some you're better at, some you're worse at. That's when you're there, that's super annoying. The beginning, disgusting. Kidding, but you just have to start trying a bit of that, start to feel the love in your heart, and then you can find a lot of like small stuff on YouTube to just start simply. You don't have to invest in like equipment for $50,000 to get started. Like me, I watched a YouTube clip with one of these big YouTubers, and he was like, yeah, Samsung 8, this is what I filmed this video with. And I was like, great, I just need that phone. And I needed a new phone anyway, so good. And then I make all my YouTube videos with a phone. Sure, maybe I should buy a little bit of better sound equipment. It could be nice. But for me, it's like, yes, it's the quality, but it's also more the content.
Correct. And you know what's funny about that, Max, is when I started my third YouTube channel, which is the one that I have now, I did it from a cracked smartphone. So the screen cracked. I dropped it on the rocks right by the river, and literally it was like a millimeter away. That crack line was a millimeter away from that selfie camera, the little one on the front of the phone. And that's how I was doing my videos. And I was able to grow my channel pretty quick from just that smartphone. And you're right. Most people think, hey, maybe I have to get this $1,000 piece of equipment, and that's not the case at all. The only thing you have to do is just start where you are, because no matter what, as long as you get started, that's going to be the foundation, And just like you said, trying different things out, seeing how that feels to you, aligning to that. Maybe some people want to be YouTubers, and they love the process of making the videos. They love the process of editing the videos, marketing the videos to get it out there. Maybe someone enjoys, creating unique cell phone cases. Maybe someone enjoys creating inspiring messages on clothing that makes people feel good. It's all relative to the person. It's all relative to what their flow is. But how would they ever know if they're not taking action, just like you said?
Yeah, and like me in January this year, I had lost focus a little bit during the holidays and stuff, and I was like, I was feeling a bit of doubt. You can feel doubt, but sometimes you have a harder time of handling it. And the funny thing is, like, then I just kept going, and I went to seminars started hanging like meeting people again that are entrepreneurs and forward thinking, etc. And I chose one of the options, and I was like, yeah, this is the one I think feels best. This is good. And I mean, if you sit at home and you feel like, ah, it's not going anywhere, I'm stuck, let's just close it down, then maybe you have to rethink, like, okay, I've been doing this, what's new that I can do? I've been just going to business seminars, maybe I should go to meditation, da 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 da. Because you will find people in the most weirdest place, not that meditation places are weird, but you know, sometimes you might find a fitness coach in a meditation room, or you find a real estate guy in a fitness gym. So you can't be like, this is where I'm going to find it, and this is the only place where it is. So be open, creative, and open your mouth. Like, talk to people and then mention what you're doing, so you can start sharing. Maybe that person knows someone. It really is weird. You can be super stuck, but then it's just like flow, because you had faith and went on for a month more and didn't sit home and be sad.
No, you're absolutely right. It's important to not. It's okay to feel the doubt. It's okay to feel the worry, the concern. It's okay to have those things. That's part of it. But what's not okay is to allow those things to stop you from doing what you're truly passionate about, to do the things that you truly love. And just like you said, it comes down to connecting with people. I was reading a very interesting article from Business Insider the other week about an Instagrammer. She has over 2 million followers, and she was trying to sell 36 units of clothing or something like that in order for her to get a deal from like this drop shipping company. I don't know exactly what the specifics were, but she couldn't sell anything. She couldn't sell not one unit. And because she couldn't do that, I guess they dropped her idea or something like that. And this person has over 2.6 million followers on Instagram. And I think what that's showing us is it's not about the number of people. Instead, it's about the engagement. It's about how you're connecting with people, how your message, your true message, is touching people's lives on a deep soul level. And I think that's where the world is going, as we all spiritually awaken, as we all raise our consciousness, raise our vibration, as we all go through this shift that's coming up in the next few years, especially with artificial intelligence. We have to connect to humans more now at this stage in order for us to really unleash our purpose and to remember why we're here and what we're contributing to the bigger picture. So Max, where can people find your content? Where can people find your YouTube channel and also your shirts?
The shirts are on smilesgratitude.com, and I might put up some Smiles Gratitude coaching or peak performance coaching there later, and I could help people with the easier video projects there for a small fee, but I haven't put that up yet. And then it's just search for Max, M-A-X, Thorin, T-H-O-R-I-E-N. You know the Bilbo, the movie, the dwarf. Think about the dwarf, the Swedish dwarf. Do I have something else? Yeah, and then you have my music, Max Free, but it's mostly in Swedish. But I will start to do some more in English now. I'm gonna build a small studio at home, so I have an easier time creating more of what I produce there.
That's awesome.
That's a thing too. Like, it's great with collaborations, teamwork, etc., and it's super important. But it's super important also to find smart ways to, make your stuff yourself, because people can really slow down the process. You need people, but they slow you down if you rely too much on a single person. That person might totally lose it, and then you miss a piece in your organization.
You see, that's actually really interesting that you brought that up. I was at a stage in my life where I focused too much on doing it myself, and because of that, I went really slow. And then when I started just like accepting help, no matter how much I hated it at the time from other people, is when things started speeding up. And for you, you're saying the opposite, like kind of like the opposite. I think.
No, not the opposite. I mean, people are super important. I could not do as much as I do without people. But it's really
certain people, if you put too much on them, they'll slow you down.
Yeah, because you might be very like forward, wanting things to move forward, and they might be in a more mañana mode. And that's really frustrating. But you also have to know that most of the time the universe has really good timing. So they might mañana you for a good reason.
And it's a patience game at that. Max, before we wrap up, this is really, really good. It was really good to connect and talk and communicate on this stuff. Is there any last bits of advice that you have for anyone who is thinking about, hey, I'm ready to start living my life purpose?
Yeah, actually, pick out some really good affirmations, like spiritual knowings. Write them with a pen, not a computer. Put them up somewhere where you can see them every day and tell them with confidence. Also, I'm a big fan of Post-it notes that you might see here.
A whole bunch.
Yeah, because when you just think stuff or your goals end up somewhere where you can't see them, you forget. You want to be able to have them close by to load it up into your mind, like what am I doing right now? What am I searching for? I can just go to this wall and like, yeah, this is the most important stuff. And of course, sometimes you can't do everything, but slowly you can do most of the stuff, and the high priority gets done much quicker when you upload it, or whatever you're supposed to call it. And then the affirmations are super important, because you want, even if it's not true to you right now, the more you take action and say your affirmations, the more you will feel like, yeah, I actually am a good entrepreneur, or a mom, or a friend, or whatever you want to be.
Being the best version of yourself that you can. Max, thank you so much for this one. I really, really appreciate your time. It was a true honor and privilege to connect.
True honor here too. I'm so happy that we have got in touch, and let's collaborate more in the future.
Absolutely.
Musik ifrån mitt hjärta. Jag vill känna mina bördor lätta. Jag vill hjälpa mina bröder och systrar runt om i världen, men ändå kunna tänka på mig själv. För utan er, vad gör jag då i en tom värld att gå? Ingen som knackar på. Jag antar att jag älskar er, men älskar världen mig tillbaks. Tänker tillbaks på allt knas, öden som gått i gras. Men jag blickar upp mot solen och hittar en väg att gå på, och hittar ett frö att så något nytt kan växa fram. Om jag måste sätta i det gamla ibland, för ur aska kommer liv, och en väg banal kan vända blad. Glöm